Hey, good morning guys. Today I wanted to do my gear video and I wanted to start with my total starting weight for my pack. I've got everything packed up right now, food, water, you name it. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys that. So right now, if you can see, we're sitting at, let's see, right about a little over 25 pounds. And that weight's with everything right now. It's 4 days worth of food. It's a liter of water. All my gear, my Fanny pack strapped to the top of the bag just to capture that weight too. So that'll be my starting weight. That's where I'm at as I start the hike. But let's go through all this stuff. So I wanted to start with the clothes that I'm gonna be wearing. My shoes are the Ultra. I think these are the Lone Peak 9 Pluses. Yeah, they're one of the newer ones. They've got the Vibram soles. So far, they've been great. I like those a lot. I'm going to be wearing Injinji socks. I like the toe socks. They do a really good job for me, stopping blisters and things like that. I've been really happy with those. Ex officio underwear. I'm probably going to start with some tights. The trail is going to be a little bit cold to begin with, so tights, running shorts, and then my shirt is going to be the Jolly Gear Triple Crown button down. It's basically like a sun shirt, but it's got a hood and some other things that I like. It's also pretty comfortable, so we'll see how that one does. I'm going to be carrying the Cascade Mountain Tech hiking poles. One of these will also be used to set my tent up as well. So then the backpack, this is the Hyperlight Mountain Gear 3400. I like the mesh pockets. I think especially with the trail as wet as the AT can be, it's going to be nice to be able to stuff things in there and let them dry out a little bit. But let's go through all the things on the outside. Oh, and then my fanny pack is the Hyperlight Versa. This is going to be primarily where I keep my camera, my phone, which I'm using as a camera, and my tripod, which are both set up for the video. But then in the front pocket, I've got my pocket knife. It's just a little, Victorinox pocket knife. It's the one with the fingernail clippers built into it. Got some earbuds in here and some chapstick. This is SPF 30. And then I've got a couple little pieces in here. These go onto my phone case. They let me, I don't have any yet, but these let me attach lenses to the case if I wanted to get one of those phone camera lens systems. I'm gonna take them. I don't know if I'm ever gonna use them. If I go for a while without using them, I'll just ship them home. Then on the outside of the pack itself, we can start with the straps, I guess. So like I said, I got my water bottle. This is full. I wanted to get the weight and see how that was. I've got one of the which kind is this? Is the Z-Packs water bottle holders. I've got that there, and then on the other side I've got one of the Z-Packs pouches. The only thing that's in here right now is my glasses case. It's handy though. I can use it to stick snacks and stuff in, and just other little things that I need available. Also have my buff. This is one of the merino wool buffs, so it'll be a little bit warmer since I'm starting in some colder weather. And then in the hip belt pockets, I've got one of the hip belt pockets is just my my Nightcore headlamp and my little cork ball to roll out my legs and feet and just use it. It's really nice for recovery at the end of the day. I've liked that a lot since I got it. Such a small thing that makes such a big difference. Then in the other pocket is my bathroom kit. So I've just got my TP, my Dr. Bronner soap, and then my my shovel here. Which one is this? This is the Tent Lab Juice number 2. Then on the pockets here, I'm taking for my water filtration, I'm taking the Catadine Be Free, but I did get a bigger bag for it. This is a 2-liter bag. It's honestly probably going to be a little bit overkill, but the weight difference between this bag and the 1-liter bag was so minimal that I figured I might as well have the extra capacity just in case. So I've got that stuffed in the side here, and then on the other side, I've got my wind pants. These are the Enlightened Equipment wind pants. Pretty standard. They should be nice. They're really lightweight. I like that a lot. And then I just have this is just a small Sea to Summit towel that I can use to wipe my stuff down if it gets wet, or if there's like condensation inside my tent. I can use this to kind of dry things out a little bit. And then since it's in the mesh pocket on the outside of the bag, it makes it nice to kind of let it dry out a little bit throughout the day. Then let's see here. On the front of the bag, this pocket's kind of full. A lot of this stuff's probably going to end up inside the bag, but I've got my puffy coat. This is also the Enlightened Equipment coat. It's super lightweight, but I don't know, it surprised me how warm it was considering the weight. And then I've got a Light Heart Gear fleece hoodie, keep me warm. This is a poncho. I'm gonna take this instead of a raincoat. I've tried it out a little bit, just on rainy days, and it seems to work really well. It's really long. It actually goes down past my knees, and it's big enough that I can use it kind of like a tarp or a ground cover if I need to. But I'm gonna give this a shot. We'll see how it does. I kind of like the idea of a poncho just because I don't know, there's a little better airflow underneath a poncho. It can still get kind of sweaty, but it's not as closed off as a jacket. So I wanted to give it a shot. I wanted to see how it does. There's a good chance that I might not really like it, and I might end up switching for a rain jacket or something later on, but I wanted to give it a shot and see how it worked first. And then, the last thing that's in the front pocket here are some gloves. These are just the REI Gore-Tex like mitts, but then inside I have just some warmer gloves. They're pretty small, lightweight, but they're warmer. And between the two, it's actually really warm. So if it's rainy or windy, I can put on the one pair of gloves, and then I can put the mitt over it, and it gives me kind of that extra layer of warmth and protection from the elements. On the front of the bag, I found this. It's just a little carabiner. It's called a fire beaner. The nice thing about this, it's pretty lightweight, but then it's also it sparks. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up very well, but so this, I'm hoping, will be a nice backup if my lighter runs out of fuel or something like that. I can still light my stove with that and get my food warmed up. Then up here on the top, this is just one of the, I think I got this one off Garage Grown Gear. I forget what brand it is, but it's, there's a lot of these out there. It's just one of those 8-inch foam pads. I use this for everything. I use it as a sit pad, for taking breaks and things like that. And then it's long enough that I'm able to use it. At the end of the day, I can just kind of lay it out and use it kind of like a yoga mat, and stretch my legs out a little bit and use my cork ball to roll things out. The other thing that I use it for is to go in between the floor of my tent and my sleeping pad. Both of those are pretty slick materials, and so this is, it's kind of grippy, and it helps keep things from like sliding around while I'm asleep at night. So this has been really nice for how basic it is. It's been super convenient. So one of the things I like about the Hyperlight bag is the roll top. This bag, I forget, I think it's I want to say it's a max weight capacity of 40 pounds, and with the roll top it kind of has like this variable volume, essentially, because if you need more space, you just unroll it and you strap it down higher up, and as your bag gets empty, like you eat through your food, or if you're not taking as much stuff, you can roll it down and kind of compress everything. It's really nice. So the other nice things about this bag, it's mostly waterproof. The material itself is pretty waterproof, and then the seams on the inside are all taped as well. So it does a pretty good job of keeping the water out. I'm curious though, it can rain a lot on the AT. I'm a little curious to see how long it stays waterproof. Things tend to, water tends to find its way into places, so we'll see how well it does. I've heard really good things though. I just haven't had an opportunity to take it on a very rainy test run before. So this will be kind of a learning experience as far as that goes. Then inside the bag is my tent. This is the Z-Packs Altiplex. The reason I went with the Altiplex instead of like a duplex or something like that, I got this a couple years ago, and things may be different now. I haven't tent shopped in a while, but at the time it was the longest tent that I could find. It was, I want to say it was 6 or 8 inches longer than the duplex. It's narrower, but I'm tall. I'm 6'3", so having a tent that gives me, the actual space I need to stretch out at the end of the day was really important. And even in this one, if I'm not careful, I end up brushing my feet and head on the ends. So it's still, it could be longer and I'd be happy. But it's also really lightweight. The tent itself is only about 15 ounces. And then inside here, I have a little bag with my tent stakes. This is actually, this is the pouch that my spoon came in, but I'm not going to be keeping my spoon in a bag. So I just used it. It's, just a nice way to kind of keep the tent stakes together. But I've got a couple of the titanium shepherd hooks from Vargo. And then these are all the MSR mini groundhogs. I got, I think, 6 of those. Yeah. This particular tent requires, I think you can set it up with 4 or 5 stakes. But if you wanted to, you can use the other ones as well. And 2 of them are useful because they go to the top and bottom of the tent, and you actually attach the guy line on the outside. So like if your tent's kind of like this, then when you attach that guy line and pull it, it kind of pulls the tent up like that. And by doing that, it gives me just that extra couple inches of height. That's nice. It helps me feel like I'm a little bit roomier in there. Next in here is my food bag, and this is currently full. It's a Granite Gear, it's a 16-liter bag. This has 4 days worth of food. I'm not going to take all of it out, but just as an example, I've got, like here's one of my days worth. I like to separate it out into bags just to make it easier to just grab a bag for the day. I'm going to start the day off with some of the Peak Refuel meals. I'm not going to do that every day. I just for the first few days, I wanted to make sure that I got some good dinners. But then I've got some protein bars and granola bar and some Pop-Tarts in there for breakfast. And then, let's see, what else do we have in here? This is my little rock sack so that I can do my bear hangs. There's some cordage in here as well. It's like 50 feet, this lightweight cordage. And there's a small carabiner in here too, so I can tie things off. What else? Oh, I've got, this is something new. I haven't really used this. It's a flip fuel. I'm hoping that it works out really well. I've heard good things. What you can use this for is, as your fuel canister gets empty, instead of just buying a new one, you can use this and you can basically drain one fuel canister into another one. So a lot of times you'll find fuel cans at the hiker boxes that only have a little bit of fuel left in them. And people, they toss them in there because they replace them with a brand new one. But with this, in theory, I can drain that fuel from that canister into my other canister and just kind of keep refilling it a little bit, which should help things last a little bit longer, but we'll see. I haven't tried it yet. My cooking system is pretty standard. It's just the Tokes, what is this, the 700, I forget which one it is, 550 maybe. It's just the titanium pot. It's got the lid. I use the MSR Pocket Rocket fuel or stove. And then there's just a little mini Bic lighter. And then I've got my fuel canister in here as well. So the way that this works, and if you've never used one before, this stove basically just screws onto the top there, and then you open the valve and the gas comes out. You light the gas and you have your pot sitting on top of everything, and it heats your water up, and then you can use that for your dehydrated meals or for coffee in the morning or whatever you're warming up. And then this is actually part of that same towel that I have on the outside of my pack. I just cut it into a couple different shapes or sizes to be able to use it for different things. But this is just something to keep my excuse me. This is just something to keep my pot dry. Once I'm done cooking, I can kind of do some dishes basically and clean things up. And then everything just fits nicely in there. I just use a couple rubber bands to kind of hold the lid on so it doesn't rattle a whole lot in my bag. These come with a little pouch that I had been using, but the rubber bands they're lighter. It's one less thing I have to really worry about. And these are easy to replace if I need to. And then I think that's all that's, oh, and it's buried in here. I've got my spoon. I just have one of the, those titanium, like long-handled spoons. It's in here somewhere. I think it's probably at the very bottom. I think this bag right now with everything in it is just shy of 10 pounds. So it's about 2 pounds of food per day, roughly. I also have like a big pouch of like drink mixes, electrolyte mixes and things like that. There's a lot of those. There's probably, it's a lot. It's probably close to a month's worth, honestly. But it'll be nice. I won't have to worry about restocking those anytime soon. So let's put that there. Then inside my bag, after this, I'm gonna roll the top down. So, I don't know if you can kind of see it in there. I've got a contractor bag. This is just basically like a heavy duty trash bag. And I have that in there to just act as an extra layer of water protection. So the things that I want to stay dry, or that need to stay dry, are inside that bag. I twist the top down And then I roll the top of the backpack down too, so it kind of gives me 2 layers of waterproofing. But inside here, I've just got a little pouch. This is my camp clothes, essentially. Just clean clothes I can put on at the end of the day. Pretty straightforward. It's an extra pair of socks. These are Darn Toughs. There's an extra pair of ex officio underwears. And then this is, I'm not really sure what kind of material this shirt is. It's kind of like a micro fleece or something, but it's fairly lightweight and really warm. It's long sleeve. I'm gonna go with long sleeve for now since it's gonna be kind of colder at first. I don't know what brand this is. I found it at a Goodwill, which I don't usually have good luck there, but this has been really nice. It's got some like antimicrobial features. It goes, I've taken it on a few trips, and it can go several days before it starts to stink and things like that, which is nice. Makes it really good, and it's really soft, which makes it a nice like sleeping shirt too. This pouch I may end up getting rid of. I wanted to start off just with the extra like organization. It is another layer of waterproofing, but I don't know that I really need that. We'll see if I keep this. I may end up just halfway through the hike, I may just be stuffing everything into the bag and not really worrying about organizing it at all. Also in here is my little like first aid / repair kit. This is another example of just reusing one of the bags that another bag came in. This is the pouch that my food bag came in. But it works really well for this. So I've got a couple of Ziplocs in here. Pretty basic. This is just a pouch of medicine. It's excuse me. It's ibuprofen. It's some like Imodium. There's some Benadryl in here. Some antacids. I've got some like antiseptic towelettes. Some Band-Aids, some hydrocortisone cream, some burn cream, just a little variety of things. My goal with the first aid kit is not to like treat any sort of major wounds or anything like that. It's mainly to get myself to the next town or to a road crossing or something like that. If I need more medical attention, then I can, call somebody and have them, pick me up and take me to an urgent care or something like that. So I'm not trying to take a lot. I'm just trying to take enough to get me to like the next place that I could, bail out of the trail if I need to. And then the other pouch or Ziploc is, there's a couple things in here. So one of my hiking poles, I have some Leuko tape wrapped around it. It's fine. It's I don't know. If it gets hot enough and if it's in the sun enough, I found it gets really gummy and hard to use, and that's kind of annoying. So what I've done is I've taken some parchment paper, just like the standard like kitchen parchment paper, and I cut strips of it and I put the Leuko tape on those strips, and then I rolled it up into these little rolls. Each one of these is about, I think about 16 or 18 inches of Leuko tape, and I've got 4 of them. So those should last me a while. I've got my tick key. This is super important. Definitely don't want to get ticks, and if I do, I want to be able to deal with them as quickly as I can. And then this is my it says my little repair kit. I found this on Garage Grown Gear as well. It's a company called Igneous, and it's like this. It's kind of like a little 3D printed spool. And it's got Gorilla Tape on the outside. It's got some, it's all black. It's like black on black, so it's hard to see, but it's got some thread wrapped around there on the top. And then it's got a couple little openings. This flips open, there's some needles in the top. And then on the bottom, this flips open and there's some patches in there for like my sleeping pad or my if I get a snag or a hole or something in my jacket, I can use these patches to kind of like repair things a little bit. So that goes in there too. The nice thing about that as well is, as I use that stuff, if I need it, I can always replace it. I can wrap more Gorilla Tape around the outside, or I can stuff more patches on the the little patch holder side of it. So it's refillable, which is great. Then next thing in here is my electronics bag. This one, let's open here. Not a lot in here right now. I've got my Anchor. It's a 20,000 milliamp hour battery bank. I've got my wall charging block, and then I've got a couple USB-C cables. All my electronics are USB-C. So my phone's USB-C, my headlamp's USB-C, and then I have one of the older style flex tail gear pumps, also USB-C. So I can charge everything off of these cables, which is nice. I gotta say, this pump, I was a little on the fence when I first saw the pumps, because I'd always just blow it on my sleeping pad normally. It's really nice. I don't know, it's such a nice convenience, I guess. I know some people hate them. I don't. I really like mine. It's actually one of my favorite pieces of gear. That, the little cork ball, these things are, for me at least, they're just these small little luxuries that actually make a really big difference. Just makes everything a little more comfortable and a little bit easier, and that's always nice as far as I'm concerned. Let's see, next in here, this is my pillow. This is it's a Nemo Philo Luxury. It's actually a pretty big backpacking pillow. It's still inflatable. It has a little nozzle here that you can blow it up. But what's nice about this, for one, is the size. It's more pillow size. I've tried a lot of the little like super lightweight, smaller ones, and some of them are pretty tiny. I don't know, they just feel like you're sleeping on a inflated plastic bag, and I don't like that. So what's different about this one is it actually has, for one, the material's soft. It kind of feels like a built-in pillowcase, which is nice. And then the top layer is actually a foam layer. It's not quite memory foam, but it's, I don't know, it's pretty soft. It gives it like that extra like squish. So it's kind of pillow feeling instead of just air. So between the air that you blow into it and the foam layer, it's hands down been my favorite backpacking pillow. Like I said, I've tried the ones that you just the little pouches that you blow up. I've tried using like even extra bag, like bigger than this, but like this, just with my clothes and stuff in it. That always feels lumpy and it just doesn't feel great. But this has been really nice. And for me, getting a good night's sleep is very important, just from a recovery and comfort perspective. It's, sleeping through the night and having, nice sleeping stuff has been kind of a game changer. Once I replaced some of that stuff and got better sleep on the trail, it's always been really, really nice. And then, almost done, I've got the Nemo. This is the Nemo Tensor. It's the long, wide version. I like it. It's not super crinkly. Some of them are pretty loud. This one's not. It's insulated. I think it's 4.2 R value. So it'll do a pretty good job keeping things warm. And then I didn't mention it before, but this foam pad does give a little bit of R value as well. It's like 0.5 or something like that. So, but these two together is almost a 5 R value, I think. So that's that. I like that a lot. And then I'm not gonna pull it all the way out, but this is my quilt. It's the UGQ Bandit. I think it's the 20 degree version. This one I had custom made to make sure that it was long enough and wide enough. I think I got it with 900 fill. I've used this down to like 17, 18 degrees before, and it's been pretty warm. So I think, I think at least for me, the 20 degree is a pretty accurate rating. Sometimes with the quilts, you've got really two ratings. You've got like the survival rating, and you've got like the comfort rating, and those temperatures can be different. For this one, I mean, I've taken it down to 20 and below 20 before, and it's been toasty. So I think it'll come in handy. I tend to sleep pretty warm, so I didn't want to do like a 0 degree quilt or anything like that. I think I would have been way too hot. But so far this one's been great. And I think it's gonna work really well for me. So I think that's it. I think that's everything. I do have some extra gear at home that's gonna get shipped to me as I need it. Like, I'm not gonna want a 20 degree quilt for the whole trip. I'm obviously gonna want to swap this out for something a little bit better for like summer weather. So I'll get that kind of stuff sent to me. Like, if I find that I don't need the 20,000 milliamp hour, I've got a 10,000. I can have that shipped to me as well. I can kind of swap some stuff around. And then obviously as things warm up, a lot of the colder weather gear, like the gloves and stuff, are going to go home. I'm not going to carry those with me the whole time. The puffy coat, I'll probably keep the fleece the whole time. It's so light, and you know, even if it's just a chilly morning or something, I can throw that on and it'll be nice to have. But that's about it. If you're more interested in my actual base weight and the exact weights of all my gear, I'll throw my lighter pack link down into the comments. Click on that, you can check it out. I've got everything weighed. I think it's up to date. There might be a few differences. I don't remember if I updated the water pouch to the 2-liter version. I think I did, but I don't remember. Either way, it's going to be close. It's going to be really close. But as always, if you've got questions, go ahead and throw them down in the comments. I'm happy to go through and answer those. And yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm actually leaving for Georgia tomorrow morning. I'm going to be on the trail in just a couple days. So it's going to be, I got a lot to do. I got a lot to finish up here the next few hours before we get on the road. Oh yeah, no, I'm leaving for Georgia today. I'm leaving in a couple hours, not tomorrow. I will be on the trail tomorrow. That's different. So yeah. All right, well, I'll catch you guys in the next one.